Hey everybody, this is Sanjeev Mehra here from Institute of Marine Engineers. We have with us representatives of various classes who will give us an insight of COVID 2019, what's happening around. We have Mr. P.K. Mishra, who's Head of Operations from Indian Register of Shipping. We have Mr. Girish Shiriraman from DNV GL. And we have Mr. Chitta Ranjan Dash, who is Chief Representative of Southwest Asia from Lloyd's Register of Shipping. And the interview will be conducted by Mr. Anjan Kumar Sahu. So Sahu Sahab, I will hand over the mic to you and you can take it forward.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Since the topic is concentrating around the COVID-19 issue, we would like to know what are the steps the class is taking towards supporting the ship owners or managers in this situation.
So let me say, this current situation is definitely presents operational challenges to everyone in the maritime industry, and protecting the health of our colleagues and our clients while taking steps to help contain the spread of virus is our main focus. As IR class, we have taken measures for continuation of our services while ensuring the safety of all our colleagues. Surveyor has been provided specific guidelines to follow, precautions to be observed, and country-specific advisories while planning surveys. And we ensure that they use all full PPE while carrying out survey. Depending on specific circumstances, we are granting survey extensions as allowed by our rules, flag state circulars, and IMO requirements for granting force majeure extensions for vessels, those who are due for dry docking or for renewal survey. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, there is a second question. What is going to be class response if a situation of this COVID prolongs for, say, 6 to 12 months? How do you think class will address it from class point of view?
Dash Sahab, you would like to cover it, or would you like me to?
Okay. Let me take that one. Yeah, it'll be a bit challenging for class, definitely. If it is short term, basically we are diverting our resources to our pet themes, which is sustainability, mostly driven by decarbonization, and digitalization. These are the two pet themes we are now working on it. So for short term scenario, we are diverting our resources. People are a little bit, activity level is low. So they're working on it. But if it is 6 months, 9 months down the line, then it would definitely impact our cash flow. Basically class gets the revenue from the surveys we conduct. So if there are no surveys, then naturally our revenue will dry up. So that will again impact our ability to invest in research projects or staff training. All right. But I expect the shipping will come under essential services, and definitely ship surveys will go on. Sooner or later, it should come back to normal. So hopefully it will not be majorly impacted. But if the cargo volume, cargo volume movement comes down because of COVID or because of oil price or whatever it is, and more ships are laid up, new building activities go down, ships are scrapped, then definitely class will be impacted. So that could be it could lead to major challenges for class to retain the kind of trained manpower we have across the globe. Whether that it could be impacted if it continues longer time. But right now, I don't see that scenario to happen. Girish, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I fully agree with Mr. Dash. But yeah, having said that, we we are hopeful that the situation will improve, and hopefully in the next 3 months this pandemic situation will sort itself out. But that's an optimistic this thing. But if, let us say, this is to continue, uh, we are at this point allowing for postponements, as Mr. Mishra said in his this thing. But we are envisaging a situation where we are seeing that surveyors will have difficulties in traveling between cities, between countries, and this will have an impact. This will have an impact on how we deliver our surveys. And as Mr. Dash rightly put it, we do expect that ports will allow us to carry out surveys, considering that it will be considered as an essential service. But regardless, we may have to gear up and look at remote surveys as an option. I at this point, almost all class societies are delivering occasional surveys, postponement surveys as remote surveys. But possibly, with a risk-based approach and with flag permissions, we may have to step up and look at possible audits, annual surveys also to be conducted by remote. That is a scenario that I think class societies will have to start looking into.
Yeah, thank you, Girish and Chitta. See, we expect the situation will gradually crawl back to normalcy in next few months. And as stated by Chitta, like many governments have identified work of classification societies under essential services. Like even Singapore, it is identified as essential services. Even Korea. So many other places, surveyors of those regions and countries, they are continuing with their services after taking due precautions, what needs to be observed due to this pandemic. As far as remote inspection is concerned, it can continue to revolutionize class services even long after COVID-19 outbreak. Using digital technology, real-time, risk-based, data-driven decision-making process, these are going to be the future for the class. Thank you.
Now, since all of you have mentioned about remote surveys, and we also have done remote surveys with certain classification societies, it's going on vessels. Is remote survey going to give the same amount of assurance as when it is done physically?
Okay, so I'll take this question. See, where possible and where with the flag approval, we are increasingly, turning to use remote surveys and inspection. And these remote surveys are basically based on self-checks by master and chief engineer or by senior staff of the ship. And we provide them, our survey checklist, and remote assessment is done by our surveyors by looking at their supporting documentation, photographs, videography, etc. And facility of video conferencing, including live video streaming for viewing certain section of the ship or certain equipments, are being done for cross verification. It is a quite invaluable tools, but remote survey cannot replace physical inspection. It is having certain limitations. And there are some surveys, as we have said, like occasional survey, postponement of surveys, etc., and even condition of class, etc., which can be conducted using remote survey techniques as of now. Thank you.
Yeah, Anjan, if you say, sorry, Girish, go ahead.
No, Chitta, go ahead.
Okay, so if you say, as of today, simple surveys, I would say yes. Occasional surveys, postponement surveys, machinery surveys, few of them. It's quite okay, but more complicated, like for example, full annual survey, I would say no. It will not give that kind of assurance. The remote survey will not give that kind of assurance because the technology has not geared up. For example, we would like to see a video streaming. Can you do a video streaming in the ballast tank or cargo hold, even certain corners of the engine room? No, we have tried it out. It has failed. So the technology needs to come up to that level. And that kind of accuracy, that kind of focus is required. It may take few years. But as of today, I would would not agree for a full annual survey remotely. Postponement, yes. Other challenge could be the shift staff. Are the shift staff being trained to focus areas where a surveyor would like to see? You know, if you're doing a video streaming, is it possible? I mean, do they know which all area we would like to see? Then it will be there'll be a communication gap. You know, that the surveyor himself will not get the assurance that he's seeing the right things. You know, he's being shown the right things. So I think it is still more complicated surveys. It will take some time. Simple survey postponements. Okay, it's all happening. All classes are doing it. It's okay. It will meet the required assurance level. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Chitta.
So I would like to just add one more thing. I fully agree with Mr. Mishra and Mr. Dash what they mentioned. But I believe that ship owners will also have to invest in an amount of money to bring up the technology on board ships. If, let us say, we want to move remote surveys to the next level, that means access to good, what shall I say, internet connections on board, and proper equipment to capture the images and live streaming. That would enable us to do that, to go to that next step of just beyond occasional surveys. That would be an investment required from the ship owner side as well. On the assurance part, of course, it's not very complicated, because there may also be, from statutory perspectives, there may be questions asked on how these images and the live streams cannot be tampered with. I think that is a lot more easier to resolve with applications which
So we lost you.
Stamps and date stamps cannot be tampered with.
Thank you, Girish. Now, while we are on this topic of survey, one quick question on this. Like recently, our flag state has given extension for statutory surveys and dry docking surveys by 3 months. And they have authorized the classifications with proper reasoning if the owner gives to extend these surveys. In certain cases, it violates the IMO guidelines, which is also mentioned in the flag state circular of 36 months, the gap between two dry docks. Sometimes this extension may come in way of that 36 months may become 39 months. Now, from an Indian flag state point of view, they have said they would give this permission to extend. How do you think an owner is going to deal with this at a later stage from a port state control point of view?
Sir, if I would add on this, at this point, it is very clearly given as a force majeure situation. But having said that, let us say you land a your vessel lands up in China, and the port state there says that, well, there is a dry dock available out here which has got a slot. The risk is on the ship owner side. There is, they may ask the ship owner to take the vessel to the dry dock after discharging cargo. They may not agree to the exemption that has been given by flag.
Yeah. So that means there is a risk still with this exemptions being in place, where an owner may not want to go to China because of the situation prevailing in any country at that time. But the port state at that time may enforce the requirement to go into dry dock or do not trade.
Correct, sir.
See,
There is one from IMO. It's not exactly a directive. It is something like to all the flag state and the port state just to take a more lenient view. Of course, they cannot say you just ignore everything. How much the port state is going to take that, it's up to individual port state. But there has been a directive from IMO in the current situation, or giving issuance of all these force majeure and all that. Port state and flag state to take a more lenient view with the survey requirements.
Thank you. Now, basically, there is no clear answer to this. It will depend on the port state control under which you are being inspected. We leave it at that. And now we come to this next question of ours. That is, class has largely been a relationship-based business with a lot of interaction with owners and managers. How is it impacted in the present situation?
Okay, I'll take this question. Yeah, we can say that classification is indeed a long-term and relationship-based business. We are in regular touch with owners and managers despite the restriction being in place. If you look at today's technology, it enables us to use various means to stay in touch with our clients and all the stakeholders for that matter. We continue to engage with customers through traditional means, whether it can be phone or email. We are also regularly sending them all updates, technical circulars, circular from flag states, and various MOUs. Even these kind of circulars, etc., are available on our Classification Society website and through our mobile application also. And even we are in touch with, let's say, with maritime fraternity through social media also. And we conduct meeting and even trainings with clients on MS Team, on Skype, etc. Thank you.
Thank you.
Agree with Mr. Mishra that there has to be more communication between class and owners than normal at this stage.
Correct.
Understand the challenges what the owners are facing, how can they be supported if required. Getting dispensation from the flag, or if there is a PSC issue, what Anjan rightly pointed out, then we have to proactively support the owners, strongly. And then apart from that, more regular discussions with the technical team. Like which all surveys could be done, surveys or audits or DOC audit, anything which could be done remotely, and which all places our surveyors are still working. For example, in Singapore, our surveyors are still 100% working. In Dubai, Bahrain, surveys are going on. So it's not that it is locked down all over. So there has to be regular interaction between the class team and the owner's technical team, so that they are fully updated of what's going on, what all services class can provide at this stage and what they cannot provide. And so basically, you should tell them it's not that lockdown all over. If there is possible, yes, we can provide a surveyor. If not possible, we do a remote survey. If a remote survey is possible or not, that it should be discussed. Which all surveys can be possible remotely or not. Yeah, thank you.
Now we come to the last question. To some extent, this was discussed in our previous discussion, but this is a more commercial question. How this COVID-19 is going to impact the market and the long-term business outlook from a class perspective.
What, Girish, would you like to take that?
Yeah. So the COVID-19 is definitely going to have a revolutionary impact, sir. It's going to have a major change in the way classification societies are going to work. Uh, it it is it is it's a hope that it will only be a short term impact, but then I think all of us have to be prepared for the long term, that this uh, we may be looking at a more longish recession because of uh, what it has done to the supply and demand, both sides. So but yeah, we this situation has forced all of us to accept technology, whether it is remote surveys or use of webinars to be in touch with owners and managers. uh, so we do perceive that this even after the situation stabilizes, we believe that the owners are going to challenge classification societies on the way we will continue to work in the future. So from that perspective, yes. And on a lighter vein, I am pretty sure that since there are going to be more number of remote surveys, Mr. Sau from his end is going to challenge us on the prices also.
Yeah. See, apart from COVID, we have this global oil price situation. I don't know whether they are linked or, I mean, they have come together at the same time. So it is impacting one of our core business, which is our new construction. New construction is just collapsing, it's going down. And new construction, many of our surveyors, and including, when you do new construction, the shipbuilding, your equipment component, many surveyors get, engaged there. So that is getting impacted. Then shipping companies will slow down on their sustainability drive or digitalization drive. So this is not a good news for class, not good news for the industry, and not good news for the environment, So this situation should not continue for long. It will impact not only class and the owners, but the entire industry and the environment also. So let's hope it gets resolved within a certain time, Yeah, should not continue too long. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chitta and Girish. What I see, this shipping industry, if you look at it, is already reeling from an oversupply situation. And it is under pressure to meet with a lot of new regulatory requirements. If you look at it, like there are already various targets will be there because of GHG and other things. And now if you look at it, this pandemic, it has added an angle of uncertainty amongst all this scenario, where the regulatory requirements are also, with the meeting the regulatory requirements, owners have been putting a lot of effort. Now this outbreak, it has disrupted manufacturing supply chains, it has curtailed energy and commodity demand, and if you look at it, it has a long-term impact on shipping industry. Then maybe owners they will be forced to reassess their prospects in view of prolonged and slow recovery. If you look at the government, they are doing all their best to minimize the supply chain disruptions and consider production and procurement alternatives. There are changes in trade patterns. If you look at it, it may even alter the supply chain dynamics. And if you look at the demand of shipping, it is a basically function of global trade. And any change in world trade pattern, it may impact the shipping too. So, I mean, it is going to have a long-term, impact on the shipping. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Right, sir. Thank you very much for giving us time. Thank you, Sahu Saab. Thank you, Mishra Saab. Thank you, Girish Saab. Thank you, Dash Saab. Thanks a lot.